Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with California Fruit and Vegetable Magazine, reporting to you here today from the headquarters of the U.S. Highbush Blueberry Council and the North American Blueberry Council. This is Kasey Cronquist. He's the president of both organizations, so you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today on California Ag Network. Wanted to talk with you. I mean, you're based in California, so I thought we'd start with talking about California and how blueberry harvest went this year, and what we saw and kind of how that compares on the national scale.
Yeah, well, California had a good season. I think they were timed right in the market. We're seeing a bit of a softening of the market right now. So California's season is over. They wrapped up with about 77 million pounds, we'll say, which is pretty on par for history in terms of a good season and good quality. And I think everybody felt good about what season this rounded out to be for California. Compared to nationally, of course, like I said, we're seeing a softening in the market. That is due to a lot of big production coming out of the Pacific Northwest, primarily Oregon, Washington, British Columbia. And so, yeah, the season moves on. But overall, this has been a really good year for blueberries, both in quality, pricing. We've had some states who didn't have nearly the production that they thought they were going to have, like Georgia, North Carolina, and New Jersey. But we're watching to see how the season settles across the board nationally before we say whether we had a nationally an up or a down year.
Yeah, got a little ways to go. I think when things are down, it's hopefully good for prices. When things are up, it's probably good for the individual grower.
That's right.
Yeah, looking at your work with both councils, what would you say? How would you describe the current state of the blueberry industry, as a whole?
Well, I think what we're currently working on, and I would say for both councils, is what does that future need to look like in a circumstance where we're seeing increasing amount of supply being projected coming into the market. And so typically there's a few things you can do to try and adjust for a increasing amount of supply. At the U.S. Highbush Blueberry Council, we're looking at that as an opportunity to shift the demand curve in order to bring more consumers into the marketplace. And that's what's really exciting about the category today, is that there is a lot of headway or headroom left for blueberries. There's a big runway still out there. You can't really see the horizon line, given the fact that we're just at about 3 pounds per capita. Of those households who eat blueberries today, it's only 6.4 pounds. We see a big opportunity to not only increase the frequency of the current buyers, but develop more occasions where they want to buy blueberries. Now, what does that mean? That means we got to get out of the morning. We're really good at the breakfast hour. We're really good at the times of day where people think about pancakes and muffins and eating blueberries with your yogurt or your oatmeal. We need to move that further into the other parts of the day, right? You see other commodities who have been able to successfully do that. That's marketing. You need to get consumers thinking about you in the afternoon. And I think where we're going to create the crave, it's going to be in that snacking category. We're going to have to go up against, your typical CPG companies that are taking that snacking opportunity with consumers in the afternoon and making it about blueberries.
I think also, working around holidays, people think about pecan pie in the fall, and they got to have their turkey and all these. There's staples for different seasons and holidays. It'd be nice to see, blueberries in a certain holiday, maybe 4th of July. How do we make that a staple?
That's right. We have 4th of July. I'd say red, white, and blueberry. We've done a really good job. In fact, we just wrapped up National Blueberry Month, which is a great season of celebrating blueberries. But we need more, right? And I think our growers deserve more. And there is a lot of places and spaces like you're describing where we can enter into the zeitgeist of consumerism and really develop the future of the category by just making those changes. Getting, I think Cinco de Mayo was the guacamole connection for folks. And then, of course, somehow they were able to parlay that into breakfast. And now we got avocado toast. And people are thinking about it in 2 different day parts. That's a good example of where blueberries can go, again, moving us into the afternoon with consumers.
Great. And thinking about developing markets, that's been a big topic for a lot of different agricultural commodities. Exports is where people see big growth opportunities, right? What is your vision for, our global, on the global scale of marketing, blueberries from the United States?
Well, we're in a unique position. So as the U.S. Highbush Blueberry Council, we have the largest, essentially, budget or entity in the world to help accomplish our vision, which is to make blueberries the world's favorite fruit. So we're competitive about that. It does sound like we're trying to knock off a few folks that are above us in that space, certainly. Won't name them here, but we're coming for them, So those are the things that we have to keep front and center, because I do think there's a lot of markets globally who don't have the same, whether it's per capita consumption, household penetration rate, or our awareness, that they're not familiar with blueberries like we are here in the United States. It's native to North America. It's not native to a lot of the world. So bringing that to other parts of the world is really our job as the U.S. Highbush Blueberry Council, partnering with USDA and FAS to help introduce the category to a lot of countries. But we also see a lot of opportunity for our growers domestically to move their fruit into other parts of the world that will pay a premium for it and help them with their profitability. So that's our goal and our vision as part of our organization at the U.S. Highbush Blueberry Council, and then on the North American Blueberry Council, working to help open those doors, find the access where, in the case of Japan, is one we're working on right now, is to reduce the tariff, eliminate the tariff, the frozen category for blueberries into Japan. So just a couple examples of the work we do, but the globe is a really big part of what's going to make blueberries successful.
Yeah, and on the domestic side of things, do you see opportunities for growth, or are we kind of at mature, does it become a mature market for blueberries?
Yeah, it's not a mature market as it relates to the opportunity that's ahead. So the household penetrations is, what we see both in per capita consumption, household penetration rate. And again, like I said, the consumers are primarily focused on this category in the morning. It's not hard to imagine that we would be able to create an opportunity for it in the afternoon that just drives demand. Frequency is also a big deal. We don't see, 20% of our consumers make up about 60% of the category spend, which is kind of scary when you think about it. But if we can get the 80% of the rest of who buy today to eat like the 20% that eat it a lot, again, we're just at the very beginning of what could become a really big category for a really big opportunity for blueberries. So, yeah, there's still.
You call this the blueberry revolution?
We're on it, and we've got a new campaign. I don't know if you saw the ads, but go big. And that's really not only a good call to action for our consumers who recognize that this little blueberry packs quite the boost, but what we're hoping for is just to continue to put this front and center for consumers more frequently as a option for healthy living, and be thinking about snacking in ways they haven't thought about snacking. That grab-and-go component of blueberries is really unique compared to other berries, and certainly compared to other fruits. It's very snackable, it's easily consumable, and of course the quality at which we're producing today is increasingly getting better and better and better, the consistency of that quality, and I think consumers are starting to respond.
That's great. I mean, I see it when we go to the store and purchase those blueberries for our kids, and they love it. So with the current administration's focus on making America healthy again, you see blueberries as obviously a great fit for that. And you had a recent success you were just showing me on your phone right before. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, we had the opportunity to send one of our smoothie bikes, and so if folks aren't familiar with a smoothie bike, the blueberry industry has one, and we shipped one of those to the Great America Farmers Market. So the Secretary Rollins has been hosting that in Washington, D.C., right there on the mall, and we were able to participate in our way by sending a smoothie bike out there, and so we were fortunate to have both Secretary Kennedy and Secretary Rollins helping showcase the blueberries as obviously a great crop for consumers to be thinking about in the area of Make America Healthy Again. And so Secretary Kennedy was riding our smoothie bike. It was pretty awesome.
That is a great win.
Yeah.
So you guys are going big.
Yes, this is what it's about. So, yeah, and our growers deserve this. I think they're working hard every day on the crop, and they're toiling over which varieties to put in and how to help consumers get access to this. And, of course, these are the things that you need to do in order to keep blueberries front and center. And I think today was a good example of making it front and center.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us in your busy schedule. Looking forward to, I see, you're going to have your annual conference next year in California, right?
Oh, I mean, you're putting me to it. So if you're hearing it here, that's our hope, is we'll be able to bring the convention in the fall back to California.
So we look forward to attending that next year and participating. Read more about these things in California Fruit and Vegetable Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.